with me now.
And welcome back. Did you know that 1 in every 8 Americans ages 40 to 60 is both raising a child and caring for a parent? Along with that statistic is a financial burden that is being felt by what is being called the sandwich generation. Here to discuss this more from Sun Group Wealth Partners via Skype is Winnie Sun. Welcome, Winnie.
Hi, how are you today?
I am doing terrific. So let's get right to it. So explain to us, what is the sandwich generation?
The sandwich generation essentially are individuals that are kind of in the midlife age group. So somewhere between the age of 40s and 50s that are caring for both an adult parent as well as a child.
Mm-hmm. Oh, excellent. Okay, so the second one, what are some of the financial burdens that can go along with caring for an older parent or even a child?
Well, if you think about it, we're getting older. So our parents and children are also getting older. And a big thing that unfortunately is a reality is as our parents get older, we have to take care of them, not only financially, but mentally. But there's also a lot of other issues that come into play, such as long-term care needs. So that's unfortunately a reality. So you're stuck with maintaining a job, taking care of your children, and also taking care of your aging parents. So long-term care is a big issue.
Okay, so what can they do, what can parents do to plan ahead so they can lessen the burden for their kids?
Well, you know, the sandwich generation is a difficult situation. So parents know that, unfortunately, the reality is we're getting older. And so like any other financial planning measure, it's a good idea to have good communication and dialogue with your children, who are in this case it's sandwich generation, and speak to them about some of the financial concerns that are up in the horizon. And like anything else, if you plan early or if you talk about it, these are things that should be planned, just like retirement planning, estate planning, education planning for your children. You know, plan for getting older. And it actually can be a very positive thing if you think about it, because if you plan early, and you know, I always tell my clients, if you love your children, right, this is one of the best gifts that you can do.
Oh, good. So what can the sandwich generation do now to prepare for that?
Well, you know, it's a large cost. Think of taking care of your parents when they get older, almost like sending another child to college. It's essentially that. It can be that expensive. There's obviously variation because we don't know as we get older what's going to happen to us. Are we going to, you know, enjoy our days in the sunset on the cruise ship and whatnot, or are you going to be faced with issues such as Alzheimer's and cancer? So unfortunately, there's a lot more variables, but it's better to play it safe and save sooner rather than later.
So how does a typical American family handle supporting somebody who's getting old or a child?
Well, unfortunately, the reality is somewhat meek because just like retirement planning, a lot of people aren't planning for retirement, even less are planning for getting older. Mm-hmm. So unfortunately, there are a lot of cases where people have a rude awakening. They would have to either sell their homes, do a reverse mortgage, take on additional debt, or borrow from their family members. And this is a true crisis, but it's been a crisis from every sandwich generation. So hopefully we can get the word out and do some early planning and just strategize and say, you know what, I want to have an incredible retirement. I don't want my kids to be burdened, so let me put away some into my nest egg today.
Okay. And so what are some of the resources that the sandwich generation can tap into for this?
Well, there's some really great government resources. Benefits Check is a great one. And if you do a real quick Google search, which I recommend you do, is you can see there's a whole bunch of different resources that will give you information and data. The Pewter survey gave some really great statistics, but most importantly, have a good dialogue with a good financial advisor who has worked with this type of client base. And that's really going to be quite helpful because it's giving you true data from your neighborhood. So for example, I'm in Southern California. Our costs may be significantly different from someone, let's say, retiring in Wisconsin. So it's good to reach out to your local resources.
Okay, well, that's great. Thank you for answering these questions, for giving us a little bit of an insight of what the sandwich generation is. And just very briefly, how can people get in touch with you?
Well, they can reach me online at sungroupwp.com, and we have we tweet a lot, so they can follow us on Twitter at sungroupwp, and of course they can always reach out to us via phone at any time. So looking forward to answer any of these questions, and if I didn't get to what's on your mind, all you need to do is reach out.
All right, well, thanks, Winnie, for being with us today. I really appreciate it. All righty, thank you. Take care.
Thank you. Take care.
All right, bye-bye. And still to come, there may be things that may be holding you back from getting the things you want in life. And what are they? We'll find out after the break when Healthy Lifestyle with Eraldo returns in a moment.